Welcome back to JJ's at the Copperpot. I'm Joesph Cope, and we just got done celebrating our 10th anniversary in April. We've got a lot of new changes. I'm actually sitting in our speakeasy lounge that we converted our private dining room from. It's a cozy little spot to have a glass of wine or an after-dinner cocktail and dessert. We've got other new items like a progressive menu that changes every 4 to 6 weeks, showcasing new techniques and exciting dishes from our kitchen. We also have paired up with local artists and food purveyors. Our coffee is roasted fresh weekly. We've got a lot of exciting changes that you must stop in to check out. But what I'm most excited about right now is showing you my favorite dish. On this episode of My Favorite Dish, we're going to focus on easy entertaining dishes that you can make the night before or get ready the night before and make life simple for that family gathering or group of friends. So let's get the party started. Prime rib, our most popular dish at the Copperpot. It's very easy. So I've got a nice 12-pound roast here, and I'm going to cut down the fat just a little bit. Take some of that fat off. Fat's great, but a little too much is, well, too much. We're going to start with a little bit of house seasoning, JJ seasoning, special blend of herbs and spices, a couple tablespoons of horseradish, some Dijon mustard, and lots of minced garlic. And just make a nice spread. It's going to get messy. Okay, and then we've got some fresh herbs, some parsley, and fresh cut chives. Nice little onion flavor from the chive. Then we're going to go in with some black pepper. And not just a little, quite a bit. And then again, our house seasoning. Want to make sure to get every little bit of it. So if we had time, we'd let this sit in the refrigerator for 8 to almost 24 hours. Otherwise, we're going to go into a 225-degree oven for about 2 hours if you have a convection. If you're on a conventional oven, you're looking at closer to 3 hours. But we're wanting 120 degrees for that kind of rare, medium rare, because it's going to cook when you pull it out. So in the oven we go. So now we're going to make the side dish for our prime rib. It's a leek and potato timbal. So basically like a leek and potato custard. So we're going to start out with some fresh leeks. Keep in mind that they're grown with a lot of dirt. So you want to slice them in half and then rinse them all out. Now on the leeks, we're just going to start from the white end and give a nice chop. And we're going to go to just where the green starts. Start with some butter in a medium sauce pot. We're going to saute these for just a moment, start softening them up. After sauteing for about 3 minutes, we're going to go and add about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of chicken stock. We're going to reduce the heat to medium and let that go for about a half hour. While the leeks are cooking, we're going to butter or use some nonstick spray for 6 ramekins. I've got some wonderful mashed potatoes here that we're going to start right there in the base. Just enough to make about a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch base for the custard. Your leeks should have had time to soften up just a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and add that to a large bowl. Go in with 1.5 cups of half and half, 1.5 cups of shredded Swiss, Gruyere if you want to spend a few extra dollars, little white pepper, about a teaspoon, as well as 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 4 whole eggs, and then we're going to take some fresh nutmeg and grate in there. And then we're going to ladle this custard mixture into our cups, making sure you have plenty of the leeks and the Swiss cheese. And then we're going to add water until it reaches about halfway up the custard cup. And this is going to go in the oven for 45 minutes at 350 degrees. So I love salad, and this layered salad is, again, so simple, can be made the day ahead. So we're going to start with some chopped lettuce. Iceberg, of course, we like that crunch, and we're going to get plenty of flavor from all the other ingredients. We're then going to go in with some diced yellow onion, sliced celery. This is really about textures and crunch. Hard-boiled egg. Some cooked, drained peas. Frozen's fine, fresh is great. Then we're going to go with some mayonnaise. Just enough to cover everything. Not too thick, but just a nice, even layer of mayonnaise. Then we're actually going to go with just a little bit of sugar. Just right over the top. Some shredded cheddar cheese and some crisp crumbled bacon. Again, so simple. Make ahead, better the next day, and it looks really great. Another fun dish that I've been making since I was probably 16 years old, but it's a little pizza margherita using crescent rolls. So instead of breaking the crescent rolls apart, we're going to take the whole sheet and just roll out like pizza dough. So just pinch together your seams. All right, we're going to go in with just a little bit of olive oil, some fresh sliced tomatoes, and then I've got some really good mozzarella burrata. We're going to break that apart. You can totally use some whole sliced mozzarella, a little bit of ground pepper, a little bit of salt. Then we're going to take some fresh basil, give that a rough chop. Now you can add this on at the end, but I kind of like the little bit of char and everything, the cooked down basil that happens as you're baking it. Really simple, pretty delicious appetizer for your party. It's going to go in the oven at 375 for 25 minutes. So next we're going to get something together that might sound difficult or scare you off, but it's so simple. Crepes. We're actually doing a layered crepe torte with Mexican chocolate and caramel. So we're going to get our batter ready here, and we're going to start with 2 cups of flour and 2 tablespoons of sugar and a pinch of salt. And then we're going to go in with 1.5 cups of milk. We're going to take 6 eggs that we're going to beat just a little bit. 4 tablespoons melted butter, 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract, or if you have vanilla paste, even a stronger, better flavor there. Now you want to let your crepe batter rest for about 30 minutes, and while that's happening, we're going to get our chocolate ready. So after bringing about 1 cup and 2 tablespoons of heavy cream to a light simmering boil, we're going to add that to about 12 ounces of chocolate. We're going to hit that with about 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon and 2 large eggs. Let that chocolate set for about 5 minutes and then whisk together. Set that off to the side. With our caramel sauce, homemade, or you can just buy a nice purchased caramel sauce, we're going to add 2 eggs to that and give that a nice whisk. This, of course, can be made the day ahead, baked, and then just warmed to serve. So while that's ready, we're going to go ahead and start cooking our crepes. Not a lot of butter. We just want to brush up on the sides, and we're going to go in with about 1/3 cup of batter. Roll that around, getting all that batter. We can see the edges getting a little brown, which is a good sign. So you want to have a pan with wax paper ready to go to offload all your crepes. Now, if you're not sick of making crepes by the end of this dish, you're not doing it right. All right, so we're to assembly stage of this crepe chocolate caramel torte. You want to grab a 8 or 9 inch cake pan, use some nonstick spray, and then some parchment or wax paper. Get that down in there. And then we're going to start building. So 1 crepe right here in the bottom, and then we're going to take a couple of our crepes that maybe didn't do so well, a regular shape, and we're going to put those overlapping the center crepe and rolling over to the edge of the cake pan. Want to make sure that we get all around and to the bottom of the pan. So we've got a nice base layer here. Now we're going to go in alternating layers with the chocolate and the caramel. Start with a nice layer of chocolate here. Spread that around. There's going to be many layers to this, so you don't have to get too thick or to every little spot. We're going to go in with another crepe. Next layer, a nice thin spread of caramel, and not getting too thick. Layer of crepe. And we're about to the top of my edges here. So I'm going to finish off with 1 more layer of chocolate. 1 nice large crepe to go right there in the center. Wrap the edges of those sided crepes right over the top there. We're then going to use some more nonstick spray right on a piece of parchment. Wrap our edges over here on this parchment. Press down just a little bit, real lightly. We're going to wrap this with foil and stick in a 375-degree oven for 1 hour. All right, it's party time, and we're all ready with no stress. We've got our layered salad that was made and refrigerated overnight, our potato and leek timbal to go with our prime rib that baked for 2 to 3 hours depending on your oven. And then you want to rest that for about 30 minutes or so, 45. And you'll end up with this wonderful, juicy prime rib. So you've got your prime rib and your side dish. For your appetizer, you went ahead and baked it, maybe warmed to temperature. Little pizza margherita on a crescent roll. And then for dessert, the piece de la resistance is your crepe torte, layered with crepes and chocolate and caramel. Let's slice into that. Again, this could have been baked the night before and just warmed to temperature, but look at all those wonderful, delicious chocolatey layers. Yum. Don't make food hard. Make entertaining easy. Food is my favorite dish.